So today I'm going to be going through cutting and polishing after you finish custom tank. Now, let me get my coffee out of the way. So when you do custom paint, what happens is, I'll leave that on for a second actually. What happens is you get a build up. So if I show you close up, see these edges and stuff like that, you get a build up, you get lines, when you do the line work and stuff like that, it actually leaves ridges. So what you've got to do, when you've lacquered it and you've put all your lacquer on, it's going to leave ridges when it goes off, right? There's no way around it. It's just part of the game. So what you do afterwards is you cut and polish it. So what we're going to do is we're going to go through that today, and I'm going to show you the process of cutting and polishing. So I've just got a little bit of soapy water in this spray bottle. I've got some 2000 grit paper here. So I'm going to spray the tank and I'm going to spray the paper. And then all I'm going to do is I'm just going to sand. Just hand sand it. We're not using a machine for this. We don't use machines. They're all by hand. It's very controlled. You make sure you don't burn through. If anything is going to happen, you can get a rough idea something's about to go wrong when you're doing it by hand. If you're doing it with a machine, it'd be too late. So we're just going to really softly, no pressure, just forwards and backwards with the 2000 grit paper. We don't want to go full ham because, if, like I said, if anything is about to go wrong, we will know about it. So we're just going to sand it flat here. Just as an example, I'm just going to stick to this area. So we're going to sand that and spin that round. Just going to sand that flat. Like so. This usually does take quite a long time, but just for the purpose of the video, I'm going to try and do a really quick version. And I'll just do this panel here so you can see the difference between the orange peel finish and obviously the elevations with the line work and stuff like that. Now when you're using 2000 grit, you don't actually have to go for that long because it is fairly aggressive. So you shouldn't have to spend too long doing it. But what we'll do now is I just like to get, I mean, people will probably curse me for this, but I like to use blue roll or white roll in this case, just to dry it really quick. So now we can see, if I show you, I don't know if you can see from the video, so down here we've still got some of the orange peel effect. We've still got a little bit wobbly where the bits where it hasn't hit. So what we do is we're going to come back to it again, give it a little squirt, give our bit of paper another little squirt, make sure there's no contaminants on it, because the last thing we want to do is be scuffing it up with a 2000 and then discover we've actually been scuffing it with a bit of shit. So we're just going to do that again, give it a little bit more sanding. Like I said, you ain't going to have to go too far with this. This is not the final sandpaper that we're going to be using. So we're going to give that a lovely little tickle there. Lovely jubby. I think what I might do on this tank as well is actually come back later and by hand pinstripe that joy in there and do that in gold. I think that would be quite pretty. But I've actually run out of gold paint for that. I've only got black and white at the moment, so I'll have to order some in. But I think that will really make it pop, having the gold line on it. So that's that bit. Let's have a look at that, shall we? Like I said, I don't want to go too far because I don't want to make this video hours long, because then you'll get bored and go and you won't ever get to see what I'm on about. So we'll leave that there. As you can see, the middle, that's pretty smooth now. Obviously there is a couple of bits, but obviously there for the video I've actually got a bit of a scuff in there, so we must have had a little bit of dirt end up on the sandpaper. So I'm just going to sand that again on this little bit just to get rid of that. If you do get any scratches, it's fine, it's not a problem. We'll just go back over it with a 2000 like that until it disappears. And then that should be disappeared now. Yep, that's gone. Right, so the next stage is going to get the 3000. Now I like using these little tiny 3M 3000 pads. They're soft, they've got a bit of substance to them. You can hold them. So while we're using the 3000, it's just going to take the edge off of them 2000 scratches, because if we're polishing from 2000, it takes absolutely fucking ages, to be honest. And it's just pointless. You're putting so much risk for it, because to be polishing that long with a rotary, you're making the panel really hot. You can get away with it on a car, but on a tank, there's not a lot of room to be moving around. So you'll find that a lot of the time you'll just be making it hotter and hotter and hotter. So the more that we can do with the sandpaper, the better it is for us with the polisher. It means less time on the polishing, which is also a good thing, because who likes polishing? There's less time creating heat, less time risk of damaging something, because it is dangerous. I see it all the time with people using a rotary and it snags, catches the panel at a funny angle, and all of a sudden they've got this fucking rocket bouncing up and down on top of a motor. So, and obviously if it's snagged on a motorbike tank, this would be shooting off across the workshop, I imagine. So we're just going to give that a really good massage with the 3000. Now a good tip, right? We've done all the 2000 like this. Now we're going to go the opposite way with the 3000, just as the finishing, obviously, just so we know which scratches are which. So if I polish this now and there's still vertical scratches in it, I know that I haven't 3000 did it properly. Whereas if the scratches are this way, we're going to know that it's the 3000 scratches, and we know we ain't far away from completion. So we do that, just going to wipe that off again. So have a quick look around, make sure there's no vertical scratches in there, make sure they're all horizontal from the 3000 rather than the 2000. And then what I'm going to do is get the polishing mop. And I'm going to use Raw 610. It's the best extreme cut I've ever used. Very good. I've already cleaned the polishing mop, as I used it a minute ago. And then what we're going to do is smear that around a little bit. I've probably used a little bit too much here, to be honest, as per usual. Now, because I'm on my own, I'm going to have to do this one-handed. Very gently. Do about 2 inches a second with a rotary, because it is a lot more aggressive than a dual action polisher. Just up and down. I can't keep this flat on the panel because I'm doing it one-handed and I don't want to lose it, if you're wondering. I'm just going to turn up the speed a little tiny bit, not much. I can already feel the tank trying to pull away from me. And down, nice and slowly. Really. I do apologise, my microphone ran out of battery and missed the last 5 minutes of the job. So we'll just run through it again quickly. I've already done it now. Typical. Right, the Auto Finesse. I've run out of the raw glaze. This is the Auto Finesse refining compound, right? It's a top coat glaze. So you want to put a little bit. I've already got it loaded up on the mop, so we just put a little bit on there, and then what we do is we're just going to go fairly slow, put it down to about 1.5, and just give it that. Just give it a little bit of a tickle with that. You don't have to go fast. Sorry, you don't have to go slow. Just keep it moving. A little bit faster than what you were before. A little bit slower, as in rotary speed. Just give it a little tickle like that, because all of the work is done now with the other rotary, with the other polishing mop within the heavy cutting compound. This is just a little glaze just to freshen up the top, make it that extra little bit glossy. Some of these have like like building properties. So a lot of people use it on second-hand used cars just to give it that super resin, just to give it a little spruce up, because what it does, it fills all the little nooks and crannies, and it's almost a little bit like relacquering temporarily. It just gives it that really smooth top coat. So as you can see, the glossiness that is added to that, just that last little tickle that took me about a minute, has made all the difference to a custom paint job. So it's 100% worth cutting and polishing. The shine in it, obviously I've not done the whole tank, I've not done the lines, I've literally just done that bit to show you as an example, but the gloss in that is absolutely fantastic. So any more tips and tricks, anything you want to know, anything you want to ask, stick it in the comments and I will be here to answer your questions. Have a lovely day. Toodle pip. See you in a bit.